What's up everybody, back with another video from Kiev, Ukraine, and this will be my last video from Kiev for a while. A couple of days I'm heading out, heading to England for about a week and then back to the States for holidays, visit my family, and get to see my dog since I had to take him home when the war started. But don't worry, I will be back here at the beginning of February, so it's not like I'm leaving for the entire winter. So I'm going to do another video before I had to get on the plane, one more from Kiev before I left. So I was talking to one of my friends online the other day about what's going on in Ukraine, and he asked a question: how much is Ukraine spending on the war? You know, I never thought about this. We always see in the news how much the U.S. is spending, how much NATO, European countries are spending, but nobody ever really asked how much Ukraine is spending. And it reminded me that this summer I was going to do a video on like internal local support from the people to the war, and I forgot about it, never did it. So I think I'm going to try to tackle this. This isn't the weekend. Usually there's more people out, but it's a little sunny. But I still think some of the things I want to show you, I can still show you before I leave. So back to this question: how much is Ukraine spending on the war? So for 2024, Ukraine allocated $40 billion to the war. Now I know immediately you're going to say, well, that's nothing compared to this. Well, you can't compare the economy or the GDP of Ukraine to the U.S. That's unfair. Put it in perspective, though, that is approximately 50% of Ukraine's federal budget expenditure. So imagine, 50% of your budget going to the war. So it definitely puts restraints on a lot of the other social programs and manufacturing base and things like that, which is why they definitely need to inject from the international community to keep things running. So now let's talk about individual support to the war. Start off, I want to tell you, I looked it up, and as of October this year, so right now, the average salary in Ukraine is approximately 21,500 hryvnia. That equals around 537 US dollars. Now, ironically, that's down 19% from a year ago. Last October, a year ago. So in October 2023, it was approximately 625%. Now, the point of this is not to get into why it decreased anything. So the point is to tell you that the average salary in Ukraine isn't that much. In fact, the only reason that salary is so high nationally is because in Kiev there's a lot of better high-paying jobs, especially a lot of international people, and so it raises that average. So if you took Kiev out of the question, it would probably be down in the 400s or something maybe. And yeah, we'll step there. So I have a couple other things I want to tell you about it, but I'm going to walk around and show you a little bit of the things that I can find, hopefully, to show you, what locals are doing and what not just locals, but Ukrainians themselves are doing to support the war. And one of the first things I want to show you guys are these kiosks here. See, this is the Easy Pay City 24. These are all over the city. I did a live stream video on my Facebook the other day because there's one in my apartment too, and I can use that to pay like my cell phone bill and stuff. So if you go over here and look, switch to English, look at charities, you see here. Na Petrimku and then ZSU, so for help with ZSU, which is the military here. Here's Army Dopmoa, so Army help. Here's one to buy drones, stuff like this. Here's one that's like the Kiev Defense Forces or something like this. So this is a way that you can actually donate straight to these military units. You just pick that, pick whatever charity you want. There, it goes straight to ZSU. Put in their phone number, and then you put in however much money you want, and you can donate like that. So that's a way that one way people can donate straight to the military. Walk around and show you a little bit more. And these things right here, I'm outside the metro stop. These things are in every grocery store. They're all over the streets. Like I said, there's one actually in my apartment complex, so those are pretty easy to find anywhere. One of the reasons I wanted to do this video earlier this summer is because in the summer especially, they have concerts and beer festivals and things like this. So and usually it's either all the proceeds or part of the proceeds go back to the military to help for support. Got a little wind here. Hopefully it's not hitting the microphone. So you'll see a lot of bands, or they'll like a dance club or something. And by the way, everything closes here at 10:30 or 11. But like a club, if you pay like a little bit of entry fee, that will go back to supporting the military as well. So there's a lot of fundraising events, stuff like that. A couple months ago, I was with a group of people out. It was called the Courage Festival, and it was just all these different artisans from the area, clothes and jewelry and everything you could think they had out there. And part of the proceeds there went back to help the military as well. So there's a huge domestic or organic element to this as well. I want to make this video because don't want people to have the impression that, you know, the rest of the world's funding the war here and everybody here is not doing their part. So that's definitely not the case. Usually on the weekends, like down on Maidan Square, Maidan Nezalezhnosti, on the weekends in the summer, there's always military displays down there, and people selling patches and things like this. And usually there's one or two representatives from the military units down there, and they have collection boxes out. People walk by and just put in money. And I remember this summer I was down there, and this little old lady, a pensioner, she came by, and I mean, she was little, you know, little kind of bent over things, shuffled along, and she walked over and she put 100 hryvnia in the box. 100 hryvnia is about $2.50 US. Now I know that doesn't seem like anything, you know, to most Western people, it doesn't seem like anything. But you have to realize a lot of pensioners here live off less than $60 to $80 a month. So for her to be giving up that amount of money, you know, that's considerable for her, but it was important for her to do that. So that kind of tugged at my heartstrings when I saw that, you know. So, all right, the adventure continues. Another thing that's become really popular here are QR codes. So after COVID, everything here kind of went contact-free. So in restaurants, they don't really give you like paper menus anymore. It's all scan the QR code, and then you can pay your bill, you know, on your phone via QR code. You can leave the tip, and then use as a place you can donate to the Army. So also, all over the city, you'll see things like this. That's all of one donate. So I will show you how these work. Scan the QR code, pops up, and then says right here, this is the official fundraising site for the Azov Brigade. And you go on the website and you can donate. And a lot of the different military units out here, they have this type of thing. A lot of individuals in the units themselves are on like Telegram, things like this, and they put videos up of them doing training or out on missions. And then they'll put like mono bank numbers or something like that where you can donate directly to individual units if you want as well. So like I said, it's a pretty comprehensive effort on parts of everyday Ukrainians as well. Because I know, like I said, we get caught up in the international communities doing all this, and you don't stop to think how much like Ukrainians themselves are also giving to the war effort. So I just really want to kind of highlight this. So yeah, to kind of dispel some myths, basically. Walking back home, and I saw a poster. So still same to do with QR codes. So the advertisement, you know, these are all along the city. The advertisement, same thing. The QR code. This is also specifically for Azov Brigade. So like I said, the QR codes are a really, really big thing here because you can scan them from literally anywhere. And these here, you can sit in your car and scan them with your camera when you drive by. So like a passenger sees this, they don't have to stop. They can just scan it while the person's, you know, driving by really slow. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, as I guess from here on out, it'll probably just be a lot more of the same, you know, showing you different QR codes, things like that. It says Thursday, but on weekends, they'll have things like, you know, art shows and things like that, where artists will pick up pieces of like rockets and drones and stuff from the east, have them sent back here, and then they will paint on them, and they'll sell those or private auction or raffle them off or something like that. And then all that money goes to support the military as well. When I come back in the spring, I'll try to get out to some of the festivals and you know, some fundraising events and things like that to show you, you know, just the amount of organic or domestic support for the war as well. So like I said, I want to do the video to kind of dispel any myths that, you know, Ukrainians are not doing anything to help themselves. You know, people back in the States, you know, get caught up, especially from the States, get caught up in politics and political narratives. It's all about how, you know, the U.S. is funding the war and all this stuff, and Ukrainians aren't doing anything, and that could not be further from the truth. So I really tried to dispel a lot of ignorance and political narratives on this channel. So hopefully you guys take a little bit of that consideration. So like I said, this will probably be my last video from Kiev since I'm leaving in 2 days. I'll do some videos while I'm back home, and then when I come back in the spring, I'll be filming some more from here, and probably from some other areas in Ukraine as well when I come back. So more on that later. But as always, thanks for watching. See you guys soon.